Today is the fifth episode of the Read More, Write More radio show. And I'm your host, Chrissy Das. And it is super nice to see you. I'm happy that you're here. The Read More, Write More radio show is for people who want to read more and write more. Most of my listeners are in the business industry, but if you're working on any writing projects, I'm happy to be a support and a cheerleader for you. So why don't we dive right in? Okay. So I usually start the writing sessions by encouraging you to set a writing goal or intention. So your writing goal is something that you want to accomplish during our time today. So the guided writing session is an hour long, and usually you're going to write for about 30 or 40 minutes within that. And what I do is I give you a writing prompt and guide you through any potential roadblocks you might hit. Now, the benefit of tuning in live is that you get to chat with me. You can make a comment. So right now I'm streaming on Twitch and Facebook Live. And so if you're tuning in live on either of those places, if you just sign in and make a comment, then I'll be able to see it and respond. Respond verbally. I won't be able to type because I'm not that multitasking talented yet. And so I will one of these days get there. But for now, I can definitely respond verbally to anything that comes across via text. We are wrapping up the year. And the Read More, Write More radio show is every Tuesday. So we're actually not taking off any time for the holidays. So, if you're here, I'm here. And I look forward to seeing you. So, your writing goal is your mini goal for today. Maybe it's you're finishing a chapter or you're working on a specific project. Bonus points if you outline what you need to work on before you meet during our time. That's what a lot of times what I like to do is outline what I have to work on, because it makes it easier to knock things out when you've got them kind of itemized. And so I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to do your first writing prompt. So the first writing prompt is describe what you want from your writing habit. So I've mentioned before that building a writing habit is so important because it's what gives you that momentum and it gives you that consistency so that you start to trust in yourself more. You start to trust in your ability more. And so when you're trusting in yourself and when you're confident in yourself as a writer, then your writing is going to flow so much more smoothly and you're going to come from a place of like understanding rather than a place of desperation. And so I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to describe what you want from your writing habit. And we are just going to put that up there. Hang on just a second, guys. Okay, so I am going to put that up, and in 10 minutes, I will be right back. Okay, just a few more seconds. We're going to wrap up. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So you just finished writing on the prompt for describe what you want from your writing habit. I know that at the end of the year, it can be like a fun time to think about, all the great things we're going to do in the next year. And it's never too early to start working toward what you want. And that's one of the reasons that I'm excited to host this radio show for you guys, is because I have my own writing goals and I work hard to meet them, and I nurture my clients to make sure that they meet their writing goals. And it's hard. Sometimes you're sick, sometimes you're tired, and sometimes you just get distracted. There's a lot of fun things to do this time of year. I'm in Florida and we have had some gorgeous cold weather, and it's so rare to have it here. And so we're just like, do we go outside and play, or do I write? Or, well, most of the time, my writing times are when it's dark. So it's either very early in the morning or very late at night. Most of the times for me, it's very early in the morning because I am much more of a morning person than I am an evening person. My husband said it's because I was born in the morning. He was born at night. And so because I'm born in the morning, like when I wake up, I'm like, like wide awake. And he's always wide awake, after 10 p.m. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. But anyway, and so the next writing prompt I'm going to take you through is I'm going to give you 20 minutes. And that's really not that much time. But I want you to detail what a day in your life looks like for your life as an author. So if you're already a published author, what does a day in your life look like now? And if you are envisioning your author life later, what does a day in your life look like, when you're at your peak, when you're at your best? And I'm going to let you guys run with that. Okay, so you're going to detail a day in the life of you as an author. And let me just get my little video queued up. Okay, 20 minutes. Okay. All right, everybody, we have about a minute left on this prompt. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, how was that? What came up for you? Because we've talked about, what does your writing habit look like, and we've talked about a day in the life of you as an author. So being able to envision the reality of what your life as an author will look like is very vital to making sure that this is like a long-term lifestyle for you, right? And so a habit, yes, but also an intentional way that you run your life. And it can be scary to put yourself out there. And writing can be lonely, and that's one of the reasons that I have this show, is to give you a face to look at when you're like, oh, I need to do the writing, but I'm not so sure. You can watch the replays on YouTube. And one of the things that I do with the episodes as well is when I alternate between the writing sessions and book reviews. So, for example, next week, I'm going to be reviewing We, a Manifesto for Women Everywhere. And that came out a couple years ago. And it's a really good example of how to co-write, because there's two main authors. There's Gillian Anderson, famous for X-Files, among many other actory things, and Jennifer Nadell, who's a journalist. And the ladies got together and they wrote some really good life principles for women. And I think it's a good read for women, men, anyone who wants to improve their life, because it really sets up a lot of foundational concepts. So I'll go more into that next week. But the reason that we look at the balance between writing and reading is because, if all you do is write, then you're not really learning anything. You're not really observing or absorbing any new information. And if you're only reading, you're not creating anything new. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not putting your ideas out there. And I mean, it's nervous out there. I started my career as an editor, and then I shifted into ghostwriting. And so for the past almost decade, I've written books for other people. And so it was really easy for me to just put somebody else's name on it, because the stakes are lower. I mean, obviously, I want my client to be happy. Obviously, I want to put out a good quality book. But it's not so scary when nobody knows that it's yours. But when people do know that it's yours, that's when you enter this like really new and unknown, a lot of unknowns, unknown area where you don't know how your book is going to be received, and you don't know what people are going to think about it and what they're going to think about you. And so I think as a writer, you really have to insulate yourself from the people who are not going to be supportive of you, because there are going to be those people that are going to be like, you don't need to write a book. There's enough books out there. Number one, there are not enough books out there. There should be more. And number two, no one has had your experience. No one has had your experience and your, like, whatever has brought you to where you are now. So whether you're, you got a PhD or a master's or a college degree or just life experience, you have earned a spot to say what's happened, and to say what you advise other people to do in your situation. Because wherever you are in your journey, there's people who are ahead of you and there's people who are behind you. And so you want to help the people that aren't where you are yet. And you want to help the people that want to be where you are. And a book is a great way to do that. So we're going to do something fun for the last one. So this is our last writing session for the year, but it's not the last episode for the year. So like I said, next week we're going to be doing a book review. So that'll be a lot of fun. And we haven't done one of those since the very first episode. So super excited about it. You can watch that first episode on YouTube under the replays. I actually have a playlist going on YouTube for the Read More, Write More radio show. And you can watch all the episodes from beginning to end. Lots of fun. But for the last little bit of time, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, like a journaling. We're gonna free write on your personal and professional goals, because what's exciting about a book is that it can be the intersection. It can be the intersection of your personal goals and your professional goals, right? And so when you look at the things that overlap, the topics that overlap between where you want to be professionally and where you want to be personally, that is probably where your book topic lies. So we're going to get there in kind of a fun way. I like to pick a word of the year for my focus. And actually, I think one of the years it was focus. Another year it was constant. This year I didn't do one, actually. 2022 was kind of a weird one. But for 2023, my word of the year, and this is pretty fun, actually. Hang on a second. I think if I move this over here, yes. Okay, so my word of the year for 2023 is yet. So this is my favorite website. It's Merriam-Webster. So m-w.com. I always look up my words. Now, yet is kind of like a mixed bag, right? Like, oh, I don't have what I want yet. I haven't reached that goal yet. But it also is like, nonetheless, nevertheless, right? So I'm looking at it as there are a million things that I want to do that I haven't done yet. And if I focus on the yet, then I can focus on the incremental steps that will get me closer to making it a reality. So that is what I'm journaling on for these next minutes. So we're actually going to do 15 minutes, and that'll take us right to time. And so if your word is something cool, then awesome. Or if you want to just pick a theme, you don't have to pick a word. You could pick a theme, like something that you wanna meditate on. So let me get you guys a timer, and that'll bring us right to time. All right, guys, you have just about another minute or two on this prompt for what is your word or theme for 2023. So go ahead and start wrapping up your ideas on that. Hey, I was totally talking on mute. I was just recapping what we covered today. So what we covered today is building your writing habit. What does that look like? And detailing your life as an author. What does a day in the life of you as an author look like? If you're already a published author, awesome. If you are aspiring to be a published author, go ahead and envision what exactly it'll look like when you hit your peak, when you hit your goals. And we closed with a word or theme for 2023. My word is yet. And I hope that your word is something that drives you to take action. I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.